Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here and talk about some stuff. So I just wanted to talk about a bit of football or a bit of soccer, whatever you want to call it. So the Premier League this season, I think it's been really funny and really interesting. So let's start off with Arsenal. When you think about how Arsenal have spent most of the season at the top of the league, if they don't win the league from this point, you have to say it's been a slight disappointment if they don't win the league from this position, because the way they got knocked out of the Europa League and the way they got knocked out the FA Cup, all they really had for most of the season was the league, and if they don't win it, you have to say you have to say it's been a real disappointment if they don't win it. But obviously, midweek they've got Man City, and whoever win that game will win the league, in my opinion. So it will be interesting. So, so moving on. Actually, you know, you know, I you know if Arsenal don't win the league yet, like I know people gonna say top four is an improvement, but is it really an improvement because they're not gonna go out and recruit enough enough players to really compete in the Champions League. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just be in it to be in it, like they always are. I know they haven't been in it in a while. When they were in it when they were in it every single season under Arsene Wenger, toward the end, it was really sad because it was like, why do you even qualify? Because you ain't gonna spend the finances to really compete. So it's a waste of a spot. So if they don't win the league, would it be a good season? I think I think some people would say yes. I think some people would say no, depending on what your standards are. So so moving on to Man City, obviously they had a relatively slow start in comparison to what they normally do, and for a long while it felt like they didn't know how to play with a out and out number nine. Cause last season they played in a false nine, didn't they? But and I think for the first month or two, I think actually I would say longer than that, they couldn't figure out how to play with Haaland. But but over the last couple of months, I think I think they figured out how to play to Haaland's strengths in that team. Now, if I'm being honest, I still think they play better football with the forced nine. But obviously, if you got Haaland scoring the goals that he's scoring, you're obviously gonna play him. You would be an idiot not to. That thank thank you. I appreciate that. So so yeah, Man City are on Man City are on for a treble. Obviously, at the time of recording, yes. Well, at the time of this being live, they beat they beat Sheffield United yesterday 3-0 to get to the final of the champion to get to the final of the FA Cup. excuse me, and obviously they're in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and if they can beat Real Madrid, if they can beat Real Madrid over two legs, then I think they've got to win the Champions League if they can beat Real Madrid. Because cause who's in the other semi-final? It's AC Milan and Inter Milan, isn't it? And with all due respect to them teams, City should be beating them. I'm doing okay, thank you. So, so yeah, if they can get by Real Madrid, then I think City win the Champions League unless does something really weird and really overcomplicates it in the final, like he did against Chelsea. I think it was last season. So so moving on, I'm not I'm not gonna go down the league. I'm just, I want to talk about Liverpool. I think Liverpool have had a terrible season. I don't think anybody can argue with that by their standards. And and I know people are gonna say they've got an aging squad. They've they've recruited poorly and whatever. But I do think you have to put some of the blame on Jurgen Klopp. I watched the main event. Just answer a question quickly. I did watch the main event from the UFC fight night last night, but I didn't watch the whole card. But I did make a video on the main event. So if you want to go and watch it, it's on the channel. Hello, hello, thank you for being a fan. Where was I? So yeah, Liverpool have had a terrible season, and I know people are going to blame the recruitment and the aging of their players. They're, they're all valid. They're all valid criticisms, but I believe you have to put at least some of the blame on Jurgen Klopp himself. 'Cause let's be honest, if you've got an aging squad and you don't change your style of play to complement your squad, did that make, did that make you a good manager? Like be honest. Like if you like, I'm not. Let me be clear. I'm not saying he should be sacked or anything like that. But I do think he deserves a lot more of the criticism than what he's getting. Because if you have a aging squad and you don't change your tactics, I do have plenty of questions. I I will make a video on that. I'll make a video on that at another time. So, so going back to what I was talking about, yeah, I have a lot of questions with somebody that did not change their style of play to fit the squad? Yes. Did they have poor recruitment? Yes. Did they have an aging squad? Yes. But also, you have to blame the manager with a lack of involving with his squad. And in my opinion, you keep either hand you keep either Henderson or Milner. You don't keep both, in my opinion. And obviously, obviously, Gakpo's a good player, but I don't know why Liverpool bought him when they when they've got a pretty, a pretty decent front line. When what they really needed was a midfielder and maybe maybe a couple of more defenders, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. And I think Liverpool, I think Liverpool are exactly where they need to be. Yes, yeah, Jurgen Klopp does it. I think he does deserve at least. So I, I think he does deserve at least halfway, halfway through next season. Obviously, I don't. Obviously, I think he does deserve a bit more time, but you do have to question. You do have to question some of his, some of his, some of his tactics at times. So, so moving on. Spurs have been a disaster. But what do you expect? It Spurs at the start of the season for the first couple of weeks or so. I believe they were top of the league, and then as the season went along, they just got worse and worse. Conte had a Conte had a right had a had a he had that press conference where he basically unloaded on the players and the club, and then he left. And now, at the time of this being live, they they lost to to Newcastle 6-1. So yeah, it's been a disaster for Spurs. Yeah, apologies. 1 second. Yeah. So so it's just been a disaster for Spurs. I don't I don't know who they're gonna get in the summer. I've heard people like Niall Guzman and people like that. Honestly, I just think he'll end up with somebody like Pop back, and some people are like that, but I just don't think he's the answer for you, to be honest, at this point. When you bring an old manager back, it very often, very often, it, it's not very often that it works. Obviously, you have some exceptions to that rule, but a lot of the time it doesn't work bringing the old manager back. But they probably will bring back Pot, to be honest. I would have said Vincent Company, Burnley did not get promoted, but obviously they did. So he's obviously, I would imagine he's going to stop at Burnley, to be honest. So there you go. Let's talk. Let's talk about Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I find the Chelsea mate. I find the Chelsea mate. I find the Chelsea capitulation hilarious because they spent 600 million in the summer. They spent 600 million in the summer. They they bought in Graham Potter, this young, exciting manager, and then they bought as I said they spent 600 million. They bought a load of players in, and then they just thought, hey, we all win the league, or we will league get into the top four, and they've just had a complete capitulation. And to be honest, it's been hilarious because over the years I've been really annoyed with Chelsea because they always change their managers, but they always got trophies out of it. And this, and they got rid of Graham Potter, and they and then they brought in Frank Lampard to the end of the season. Now, I, we've all heard the names of who's going to be taking over in the summer. We've all heard who could be the manager. We've heard Enrique. I think that's how you say his name, Luis Enrique. I've heard a lot of names being mentioned. I, I'm I'm good, thank you. And I just want to address something. I know this will not be everybody's cup of tea. I know that not a lot of you are gonna care about what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to talk about it. So I understand if you don't like it or you're not interested, but but I'm sure I'm sure I will obviously I will make. I'm not obviously I'm just doing whatever I feel like doing, and if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. I'll obviously have other videos that you will like because I'm still doing the fight content. I just wanted to do something else for a change. So yeah, I find the Chelsea meltdown really hilarious. Uh, and to, to be hon- to, be- to be honest, uh, I hope gonna continue next season. 'Cause at times, it's been pure hilarious. Like when you hear some of the stories that have been coming out about about Todd about Todd Bowley not knowing that that he had to qualify for the Champions League and just things like that. Like, but all joking aside, if you're gonna make yourself the chairman of a club or like a team, like it's your first job to know everything like the sport that you're going into. Like so, all the jokes aside, I did feel sorry for certain more Chelsea fans, but at the same time, it, it does bring me a slight bit of humour. So 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 moving on to Man United. Man, when you think about a Man United started off the season losing to Brentford, and who else did they lose to that was really bad? That had a really bad performance against. It was Brentford and somebody else. Obviously, no shame to lose to Brentford, but it was just a terrible start to the season for Man United. But I think as the season's gone on, they really improved. And obviously they've had the moments. Obviously they've had a bad performance in the Europa League quarter final, and they've had a couple of bad they've had a couple of bad performances in the league. over the season, but they've definitely improved under ten ten Hag. But there's a long way to go. Obviously, if they want to be challenging with the Man Cities of the league, but they've definitely improved under Ten Hag, and they've never lost like multiple games in a row. Like they've never gone on a bad run. Like they have a bad result, and then they instantly come back with at least a draw or even a win and sometimes that's what and sometimes the worst thing that you can do is have a bad run of form. Because it's okay to lose one. It's okay to lose one game every now and again, but but the problem becomes when it becomes a habit. And and this season they very often they they don't it very often it doesn't basically what I'm trying to say is this season that if they, if they do have a bad performance, they always come back the next game with a good performance, and that's what you need, or at least they get a good result. And as I said, sometimes the worst thing that you can do is have a bad have a, have a bad run of form. So moving on to Aston Villa. Aston Villa obviously started off with Steven Gerrard as their manager, and it basically got worse and worse as the season went on, and, and it ended up where the Villa were in the bottom three or near enough in the bottom three, and the atmosphere at the stadium was becoming toxic, so they had to get rid of Gerrard, and they bought Unai Emery. I told people when they bought Unai Emery, they were going to be a good manager, and a lot of people told me that I was talking crap because he had a bad because he had a bad time at Arsenal. But I told people it was going to be good for the Villa, and now the Villa are in the European the, the European the European places to go from third from bottom to the European places means it obviously means that you've had a good turnaround. And, and the one thing you need to consider is Ars, Arsenal and Aston Villa have two completely different standards. That obviously the Arsenal fans and even the club as a whole expect to be at least in the Champions League, or the fans want to be challenging. That's what they expect. It's weird with Arsenal because you can tell the the owners the owners want one thing and the fan base want another thing. So the owners are just happy being in the top four, and the fans want to be challenging, as as every fan base should do. But obviously with the Villa, the fan the fan base know that it's probably really unlikely that we're ever going to properly challenge, even though we could, even though I believe we could do with the right investment. But but the point but the point is the the expectation that Arsenal are not the same at the Villa. So obviously it's not going to be it's not going to be judged on the same metrics it is. And for Aston Villa to be in the Europa League, maybe it's a really good achievement. But the one thing I'm concerned about is that if we do end up in the Europa League, we won't we won't boost the squad enough to compete in both fronts. Like I think we'll either have a really good Europa League run and be crap in the league and probably be in the bottom half again, or we'll have a crap run in the Europa League where we just get knocked out in the group stages. But we have an alright season. We have an alright season in the league, and I just can't see the bit. I just can't see the Villa buying uh basically a second squad for the Europa League. I think it'll be one or the other. We'll have a good season in the league, or we'll have a good season in the Europa League. It'll be one or the other, unfortunately. And I hope the Villa can keep Martinez, because if we lose Martinez, we can pretty much forget about it before the season starts. And to be honest, even if we keep Martinez, I think they need a second goalkeeper. I'm I'm doing good, thank you. Ap- ap- apologies, apologies. Uh, is that is that is that ang ang gana ani is that is that true in Connor's back? I'm a bit, apologies. I need to concentrate on what I'm talking about. So as I was saying, the Villa definitely need to recruit. They definitely need to recruit a second team to going to compete in the Europa League. So so moving on to the bottom half of the table, just quickly. Obviously, Southampton are at the bottom, and it's all it, it's probably going to be the case where Southampton are going to get relegated, probably. But if they can put in a performance like they did against Arsenal for 85 minutes, where they basically winning the game comfortably, but then Arsenal had to come back and got a draw. But if they can play like that against most teams, Southampton could pull themselves out of it just about. But I think it's more likely that they get relegated. And if I'm being honest, it'll probably be Everton and Leeds to get relegated. If I'm being honest, so it'll be Southampton, Everton, and Leeds. So So, and when it comes to the top four, I think Man City will beat Arsenal during the week and then go on to win the league. I think Arsenal will get second, and obviously I think third and fourth will stay exactly the same. Newcastle and Spurs. No, no, no. Why did I say Spurs? I meant Man United. So, so let me be clear. The top four will be Man City, Arsenal, Man United, and Newcastle. That's what the top four will be. So let me know what you think if you're interested. As I say, I know this. I know that this won't be everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. But I just wanted to do it just because I thought it would be interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So thank you for watching, and I will speak to you later. And if you liked the video, if you liked what I talked about, then let me know. But thank you to everybody in the live chat. I know sometimes when I get going, I can ignore the live chat. I don't do it on purpose. I'm just so invested so invested in what I'm talking about that I forget to look at the chat. So apologies, and thank you for the support, and I will speak to you soon.